Today we're making berry scones. I'm going to show you a basic recipe and I'll be making blueberry and raspberry, but you can play around with the recipe and add any kind of berries that you like. So we're going to start by whisking together 2 cups of all-purpose white flour with 2½ teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a cup of sugar. You just want to whisk that together. Now the key to having light scones and not heavy dense scones is to not handle the dough too much. What I like to do is take my butter and freeze it before I put it into the dough. And so I have a frozen stick of butter. It's 8 tablespoons, half a cup. I'm going to grate it on a box grater and then I'll show you the next step. I forgot to mention that you have to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry, I always forget. So now that I've grated the butter, you just want to toss it with the flour. You want to do everything quickly. You don't want to overwork it. You just want to coat all of the butter with the flour mixture. And once you've done that, you're going to take half a cup of heavy cream, make sure it's cold, and you're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 egg. Now my egg had 2 yolks, but it was 1 egg. And you just whisk it together and you add it to your flour mixture. So you just want to drizzle all over. And mix it in quickly. So now I'm going to add a heaping cup of frozen blueberries. Do not thaw them. And you're going to work it in with your hands quickly. And I'm going to dump it out. I'm going to flour the surface lightly and I'm going to dump it out and I'll show you what I do next. So I've dumped out my dough onto a lightly floured work surface. And it's very crumbly and a little wet, I guess. You just want to work it into a mound, kind of get it all together. And then we'll transfer it to a parchment lined baking sheet. Now it might seem kind of silly to put it on the surface and then on the sheet, but I tried to put it directly on the sheet and work it into a circle, and the sheet was moving around, so it doesn't really work. So you kind of want to get it to stick all together, not too firmly together. You don't want to overwork it. And once you have it in a ball like this, in a mound, you put it on your sheet and you press it down. You want to get about an 8-inch circle, so you just flatten it and even it, and then we'll cut it into 8 equal triangles. Now I just want to show you how you would make this recipe with any other berries. I did blueberry already, and now I'm going to do raspberry. So up until the point where I add the blueberries, you do everything the same. And now I'm just going to add raspberries instead. And what you could do is add a mixture of blueberry, raspberry, and strawberry. You could do blackberry. If you wanted to, you could add a little lemon zest to your blueberry, and it would be lemon blueberry scones. You can play with it any way you like. Now I didn't measure mine, but I'm going to guess that it's a little smaller than 8 inches, but I like my scone a little bit thicker, so you don't have to be that precise, don't worry about it. Once you have them cut up into these triangles, I like to brush them with some heavy cream on top, just lightly, and then I'm going to sprinkle them with this coarse sugar, and we'll put them in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so it took a little bit longer than 25 minutes, I'd say about 30 minutes, but basically you want the center to be set. You don't want it to fall through when you push on it. And the edges are nice and browned. It does spread quite a bit as it bakes, and the cuts that you made will kind of get stuck back together, so you'll just cut it again where the markings are. I'm just going to let it cool for a little bit and then we can serve it. Okay guys, so here's our finished product, our blueberry and raspberry scones. I hope you enjoy.